Welcome to Reality with Kiki. I'm your host, Kiki, and on this channel, we discuss reality TV, celebrity gossip, and viral topics. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like our content. You can also follow us on our Facebook page. A link will be in the description box below, and we also have it linked in our bio. All right, Black Ink Chicago. So this episode starts out at 9 Mag. Um, some of the staff were eating Ryan's food. Every thought it was funny, haha. And I'm just like, I don't find that funny because you don't touch somebody's food without asking. But anyway, Four is there and Don as well. And Ryan is telling everybody about the convention coming up and how she's going to have Charmaine's shops booth right next to his so that she has somebody to lean on and is not like a fish out of water, being that this is their first convention. And she has a lot of new artists. So I'm like, okay, whatever, that's cool. So then Ford starts to get into how things are not working out with him and Nina. He left the apartment because he doesn't want to be there and he doesn't want her to have to go and look for an apartment because she's pregnant. And on the surface, it's like, oh, you're trying to make it seem like you're the good guy. I don't want her out here looking because she's pregnant. But it's just like, you are making the situation more stressful. So you're making her feel stressed and you're making her even more lonely after she told you she was already feeling lonely because now she really is by herself. And now she has no idea who's gonna be there for her. Like, if her water was to break in the middle of the night, like, and she's going through contractions and pain, how easy is it gonna be for her to be able to get out the house if nobody is there? Okay, so they transition to Nina, who is at a birthing class, and Ashley is there to support her. Now, that situation is a little bit weird to me because last time when they went to do the pop-up, she's like, oh, I'm getting to know Ashley more. And so it's like you don't really know her, but you called her to come, and I don't know, it's because Ashley has experience or because she's already been a part of the family, so maybe she can give Nina some insight as far as Four. I don't know, but she had her there, and she started to talk to her about like how she's feeling stressed out, um, about different things, and she was just like, I hope I can have Four and my mother in the delivery room with me. And so I'm just like kind of trying to understand because I know she did say she has a lot of siblings and that she was from Dallas and that she relocated to Chicago because of her pregnancy. So that Ford can be there. But now that he's just like, he wants to be there for his child, but he don't wants to be with her and is not, in my opinion, really supportive of her. She's better than me because I would have went right back home. I would have went back to Dallas where I'm getting more support than what she's currently getting. All right, so things are the drama is starting to heat up a little bit. So we are at Second City Inc. and Drea and Kitty are there, of course, and they are going around to meet the new artists because Charmaine's just hiring people, not having any further communications with anybody else or even introducing them, apparently, because pretty much Kitty and Drea are kind of like managing things, even like without the title. They're kind of like helping bring everything together. And of course, Charmaine is not there. So they go around to introduce themselves and meet some of the new artists. One of them was like doing tattooing for like a year. Another one, she was only doing it for like 2 months. And I'm like, is that the best decision to make? Like, I obviously everybody has to start somewhere, but like me personally, I would not want a tattoo done by somebody who's only been doing it for 2 months. So there was a client that was sitting there and she had been sitting there for a long time. So they were trying to figure out what was going on. So they figured out that it was Prince's client and he had not shown up. He was not answering the phone. And when they were finally able to get in contact with him, he was like he had something else going on. And Dre was able to take the girl on as a client. She was like, I don't want to overstep, but he was like, thank you for helping me out. She did the tattoo, but it's just like that was nice, right? It was nice, and the girl was able to get what she wanted. But like Charmaine, one, not having a manager, two, you not being there, three, everybody has to rely on you to get something done or get information or get supplies is problematic because a situation like this would have been able to be handled by a manager. For one, I'm not sitting somewhere for hours to wait on a tattoo. I don't care how good you are. That's one. But two, just like that's bad press for your shop because I'm sure that this girl is going to go and like tell other people, I was waiting there. My artist never showed up. He never even responded to me. Like I was able to get my tattoo done, but I had to wait all this time just to get it done. And it wasn't like a simple tattoo. Like I'm sure that even like the tattoo within itself took even longer of a time. Like you're not going to waste my time like that. And the whole thing was just very unprofessional. So later on, Kitty and Dre are just kind of like talking out their grievances about the shop because nothing is working, nothing is organized. Charmaine is just lacking in communication. Um, things are an issue. So later on, Charmaine comes in because allegedly somebody told her something about what was being said, and she wanted to host a staff meeting and to be able to confront the people who had something to say about her and the way that she's running things. So one of the things that was said was Dre is like, I'm not going to be paying $1,500 in booth rent. Like that's crazy. I supply all my own supplies. I brought my own printer. I've done all these things, which I agree with her on that. Like, if you're going to be paying $1,500 when they could take that money and rent their own spaces in Chicago, you need to be providing a hell of a lot more than a seat for their clients to sit in. She's like, there's not even Wi-Fi here, and I'm just like, really? Like, come on now, no Wi-Fi? You giving me lights, a seat, and that's about it. So Charmaine hosts this staff meeting, and she was like, basically like she was gonna confront the people who had something to say, which was mainly just Kitty and Drea. So she's sitting there and she's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that," and it's just like, okay, but there is too much that is going wrong for you to not for you to rarely be here, and two, not to make sure that things are getting fixed immediately. Like Kitty can't move without getting the okay from Charmaine, and that's problematic because they are telling you about things that are going wrong, but you don't have the time or the attention span to get those things done in a timely manner because you have a thousand other things going on. So they sit down. They have the new artists, they have some people that's been there, and she's like, does anybody have anything to say? And she immediately looks at Drea so that she can confront her because she's like, I've heard that you have issues. You're crying about one little printer when you're not even really doing a lot of tattoos. Like she was just making it seem like, you're not bringing traffic in here. You're not really doing it up. And it's like, Charmaine, what type of people are you expecting for her to just have walking in from the street or walking in from her social media when it's just like, it's your job for $1,500 a month. Not only should you be providing Wi-Fi, lights, and water, You should provide some type of marketing services. You should be providing the tools. Like, what are you talking about? The traffic is not driving there because you don't have your stuff together. You are the boss, remember? So Drea is just like, I'm just getting back here, so I'm not really understanding what you are expecting or what your expectation of me is. And and my thing is, maybe a tattoo shop is not something that Charmaine should be doing. Like, this is not something you should be running or something that you're good at. And Jerry also was like, this is not what I was promised. Like, you told me that I was going to come back to something that was bigger and greater. And it's just really turning out to be the same thing that it was for the past 2 years. Like, what's going on? It's just a hot ass mess. So things really start to blow up. And Drea is like, I don't have to be here. I'm out of here. I'm leaving. Charmaine is like, you need to take all your stuff with you. She said, I'm not taking all of this right now. And she's like, okay, well, then I'll have somebody remove your stuff. And she was like, if anybody touch my stuff, I'm breaking everything in here. And then she leaves. So after Drea leaves, Charmaine immediately starts on Kitty. And they are arguing. And it's just like really in front of these new artists. Like, Charmaine is like, if I feel disrespected, I don't care. If you don't want to be here, you don't like my rules, you can leave. And it's just like, girl, nobody is banging down your door to work at your shop. So you need to tread lightly, really. And I'm not saying that you should accept disrespect or anything, but like as a leader, did you really think that this was the right thing to do and that this was professional? And if you felt some type of way, it's like the fact that you hosted a meeting just to confront those two, you could have had separate sit downs with both of them in your office. Like, this was not the way to go. And this is like, as a leader, you got to have a certain level of emotional intelligence. And to say that like Kitty is worrying about a title, like, really, I think it was more than that. um she didn't even know her role because you couldn't really tell her what her job description was and what she needed to be doing, because like I said before, she was sitting there twiddling her thumbs most of the time because she couldn't make no moves without talking to you. And during all this time, Prince is like, oh, y'all need to stop, this is why they think the way they do about black woman owned stuff. And that's just like, boy, shut up, because you had a client sitting here and you were unresponsive to her. So you please shut up, because you are adding to the problems. So Ryan meets up with Don at the park. Don has his son there as well. And Ryan is just talking him through what has happened recently. So Ryan's son had a birthday. His ex friend Anthony was invited along with Anthony's son because Anthony and Ryan's son were supposed to be god brothers, but Anthony has written Ryan off as his son's godfather because of everything that he did, and as he should. And he was just like pretty much talking about it like, I don't know, it just seems like Ryan doesn't empathize, right? And no, there's nothing he can say to fix what he did. But I don't know, it's the way in which he talks about it. It's just like, you were wrong. So why are you talking about it in this manner? So, for example, he was saying that he saw Anthony at the party. He walked past him. He didn't say anything to him. And because he didn't get the reaction that he wanted, that Anthony did not get the reaction he wanted out of Ryan. And because of that, Anthony decided to leave. He said he came back out. Anthony was gone. Right? So it's just like, but did you want a problem? No, because why are you talking about it in that manner? And why would you be even, if you were trying to pay him dust like you act like you were, why would you even notice that he was gone in the first place? Yeah, I don't know. It's just rubbing me the wrong way. And like obviously it's a kid's party, but like I said before, had that been me, it's on site every time I see you. But also I'm just wondering like what that setup is and why even invite him in the first place, because I'm pretty sure Ryan's baby mother knows what Ryan did. So anyway, while they're at the park, they get the call that Nina is in labor, so Ford is on the way to the hospital. And it seems like he is starting to recognize and empathize with Nina, because he's just like, all the arguments that we had, like it wasn't worth it. Like it's nothing compared to the pain that she's going through now. And it's just like, exactly. People been trying to show you this entire time, but whatever. So the episode ends pretty much on a sentimental note, because Charmaine brings her dad back to Louisiana. So that's one of his last wishes. He wants to go live out the rest of his days at home.
And Four and Nina welcome their baby boy. Four seems to be empathizing more. He's like, all our arguments meant nothing, and it's nothing compared to the pain that she's going through right now. When he was talking about when she was in labor. And then the baby came. So that was a sweet ending. You guys let me know what you thought about the episode in the comments down below, and I will talk to you next time.